As you might have noticed, your YouTube For You page is filled to the brim with back to school content. And even though I'm personally not going back to school this year because I graduated in May, I'm only 20 years old, so I think it's still age appropriate for me to do a what's in my backpack. So that's what we're going to be doing for today's video. So don't be an idiot, wear a mask. Hey guys, what is up? It's Amy and welcome back to my channel. I make videos on sustainable living for anyone and everyone because I believe we can all save the planet. So hit that subscribe button because why wouldn't you want to save the planet? Speaking of sustainable, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the most sustainable what's in my backpack video on YouTube. Quote me on that because I do believe that I have created the most sustainable backpack ever. All jokes aside, you guys probably come to my channel to get tips on sustainable living, and if you clicked on this video, you're either going back to school, you're going back to online school, or you just love me so much that you watch all my videos. Thank you. But today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I was able to curate what I think is the most sustainable backpack and my tips and tricks to making your back to school season as sustainable as humanly possible. I'm mostly kidding about the most sustainable what's in my backpack. I put together what my backpack looked like back in May when I was still in school, and I did it without having to go out and purchase anything, which is basically the whole concept of this video. There's basically two big problems that I see with the whole back to school season when it comes to consumerism. Number one is you get roped into buying a lot of things that you end up not using. For me personally, highlighters, post-it notes, those cute little post-it notes that are like rectangular, stickers, erasers. These are things that you feel like you need to get. Like whenever I would go back to school shopping, I go to Walmart and I'll be like, yes, I need this whiteboard marker. Yes, I need this new planner even though I have 10 at home. You just get roped into buying so many useless, I feel, useless items that you end up not using. So I think not buying anything right as school starts is so smart, because then if you end up being like, shoot, I think I'm gonna need some highlighters for this school year, then you can go buy highlighters. But you don't want to buy something and then later find out that you don't need it. So that's my first problem with back to school shopping. My second problem is that people buy things even though they have these things at home. Number one thing is backpacks. I would usually buy a new backpack when it was back to school season, even though we had a couple at home, and then other times the backpacks that we did have would break after a couple of months, so then you do need to go back and buy another backpack. And then another thing that people oftentimes have to buy a lot of are things like pencils and pens. You end up buying a lot of these things, or you buy the huge packs because you lose these things super easily. So I think some of the solutions I have in my what's in my backpack can kind of evade that problem of buying pens and pencils every year and then losing them by the end of the year. Please keep watching to see what's in my sustainable backpack and how I was able to come up with a full backpack that has all the essentials for being in college. I know because this is literally what my backpack looked like right before I got out of school, and I think it has all the essentials except for like masks. That's in here even though I didn't really have that back in February because COVID wasn't a thing. Life was great back then. I miss life pre-COVID. But anyways, what's in my backpack? First off, I didn't remember how heavy backpacks are. I put this on and I was like, holy cow, how did I just walk around to class every day? But anyways, the first thing is my backpack itself. Like I said, I used to basically buy a new backpack every single school year, and this is unsustainable for so many reasons. Think about all the materials that are being used up for you to buy these backpacks every single year when you could just buy one backpack to last you a couple of years or decades even. So I definitely recommend investing in a high quality backpack. This is the Kanken. I call it a Kanken even though I know that's just completely butchering the Swedish language. I think it's Swedish. It's in yellow. I think it's so cute and I love it. And I also did this embroidery detailing around the little circle thing, and you can find the tutorial on that right here or here. I think it's here, but it could be here, I don't know. So I got this last fall when I started my last year at the University of Minnesota, and I love it so much. It's the perfect size to fit everything. So if you're in the market for a new sustainable backpack, I definitely recommend the Kanken. And it's also just a great company to support, and they put a lot of care into their products. But if you already have a backpack, just use it. You can just wash it if it's dirty. I actually have a tutorial on how to clean your Kanken, one of these once again. Definitely definitely go watch that if you need help getting your backpack primed and ready. So yeah, I already have 2 things that I can help you to get your backpack ready for the school year. So you can embroider it so that it's cute and you have like a new backpack basically, even though it's the same one, and you can wash it so that it's clean and ready for the new school year. Definitely don't buy a new backpack if you don't need one, and if you need one, invest in a high quality one that you can use for many years. So the second thing, I just wanted to mention this real quick. Hand sanitizer. This technically, I don't think this would be considered very sustainable, but I stole this from my sister. It's this cute little cupcake. I think it's adorable. Find some kind of hand sanitizer container. Even if you have to buy it from Walmart, definitely get yourself one. But what you can do to keep it sustainable is to buy huge quantities of hand sanitizer and then just refill it instead of buying like 300 of these, because that's just using up more plastic packaging and it saves you money. And that's also in my video on 10 ways that you can save money while going sustainable. But yeah, that's my first thing right there. I do all my videos standing up so that I can get that nice blurry background, but for this one I'm not gonna be able to do the whole thing standing up. But anyways, let's open up this bad boy and see what's inside. The first thing is textbooks, and it's time for a book talk. So I just graduated college and I majored in political science and minored in sustainability. So I'm sharing with you guys 3 of my favorite classes, like the textbooks for them. This one is called Inequality and Prosperity. This was for a class called, I think it was like Comparative Political Economy. You basically just compare the economic systems of America versus other countries like Canada, UK, Nordic countries, and then like Germany. The second one is called Environmental Ethics. This is something that's directly applicable to this channel actually. This basically teaches you philosophy while also allowing you to think about it through the lens of sustainability. And then finally we have Groundwork of the Metaphysics by Immanuel Kant. But this was for my philosophy class. I ended up not minoring in philosophy, but that was something I was super interested in, so I actually recommend this book. It's really great. So all of these 3 textbooks I actually bought secondhand. Actually, I don't think I bought this one secondhand. I can't remember. Buying textbooks secondhand is awesome because it's cheaper and it's also more sustainable, obviously, because you don't have to keep producing these books. But I definitely recommend buying textbooks secondhand, or you can just rent them. I personally prefer buying them. The sites that I recommend is, there's one called Aime Books, which I got a bunch of my books from, and that was amazing. And I got a lot of my books from Amazon. I don't really support Amazon anymore, but if you're buying used things off of Amazon, then I don't see a huge problem with that, especially if you're trying to save money. So definitely buy your books secondhand. It's amazing. There was also this bookstore close to my campus that sold secondhand books, and they sold a bunch of secondhand textbooks. So if you have something like that near you, then I definitely recommend going there because you can find all of the essentials. Moving on is a notebook, and this notebook is actually completely brand new. The reason that I included this in this is because this was just in our house, completely empty and brand new. And I remember I was watching Shalbizla, I can never pronounce her YouTube name, but her name is Shelby, and she basically was doing a back to school video, how to get your school supplies super sustainable. And she was talking about how in your house you probably just have a bunch of notebooks and pens and pencils, and some of them might be completely brand new. So just look around your house and you'll find something. And the reason that I would usually have a notebook, I don't really use notebooks that much, but sometimes I just want to write things down physically, or most of the time what would end up happening is that my MacBook would die and then I'd have to use pen and paper. So I just wanted to always have one notebook with me, and I subdivided it into all of my different classes. So I definitely recommend, even if you go digital, get a notebook. And speaking of laptop, this is basically my back to school supplies 101. Especially if you're in college, go digital. I know it's not for everyone. I have to say, I know it's not for everyone. And I know some classes at my university made it so that you couldn't use your digital devices, like you couldn't use your laptop to take notes. So it all depends on your circumstances. But I definitely recommend, if you're able to, go digital because it's sustainable, it's more effortless, you don't lose things, you don't get it wet. So I definitely recommend it. This is the MacBook Air. I got this my senior year of high school, so I've had this for 3 years now, It's super slow when it comes to editing videos and all that kind of stuff, but in terms of like going on the internet, writing up essays, doing all your schoolwork, this laptop is going to be perfectly fine. I don't recommend upgrading your computer equipment if you don't actually need to. I'm personally considering right now, I'm looking into getting a more heavy-duty laptop because this one just is not the best for video editing, and as I'm growing my YouTube channel and trying to get more videos out, it's just really frustrating spending hours just waiting for everything to load. So I personally might be upgrading from this, but if you're just a student, just use your laptop from last year or get a laptop if you don't have one already. Or what you could do is get an iPad. I believe they're cheaper. Just get something where you can type it up. I almost dropped it. You just need to get something where you can type up all your notes, type up all your essays, because there will be a lot of essays. Some tips on making sure your electronics are sustainable. Make sure you're properly disposing of your electronics when you're done with them. And if you're in the market for a new laptop, get it refurbished because it's keeping electronics out of the landfill and it's making sure that these things are being recirculated, or you can get it secondhand. You also want to make sure that you are buying a model that is basically what you need and has everything that you need, so that you're less likely to upgrade in like 2 years. Trying to think ahead into what your needs are going to be in the future, and you should aim to keep your laptop for like 4+ years rather than just changing it every couple years. So also when it comes to laptops, it's not on there anymore because I had to get my screen fixed, but stickers. There's a super easy hack to get affordable and sustainable stickers, and it's called a printer. You basically just go online and you find a bunch of pictures that you want to turn into stickers. I had like the YouTube play button, and then I had some quotes and sayings and sunflowers and all that kind of stuff. I went on, I think it's called Pixlr, and I downloaded just a bunch of those images. I put them on a white sheet of paper, laid them out, made sure they're the size that I wanted them on here. So then once I printed out that sheet of paper, I cut them out and made sure to leave like basically a little perimeter so it makes it look like it's an actual sticker that you peeled off and there's like a white border. I stuck them onto my laptop using tape the way I wanted them, and then I put my clear case on top, and everyone would be like, wow, your sticker case is so cool, that's so pretty. And I was like, they're not real stickers, so thank you. So that's a great way to be able to have that sticker aesthetic without buying a bunch of stickers, because obviously that's plastic, and it's just cheaper. It's so much cheaper to just do it yourself. I've been talking about laptops for like 30 minutes. This is my laptop. This was basically my baby in college. Basically the only school supply you need. Next up in here we have my glasses. Super essential for classes obviously, because you're gonna need to see the board. Because my eyesight isn't super bad, it just is really bad when I can't, when I look at the board. Like right now, things are blurry, but like they're still seeable. Is that a word? They're fine until I sit down in class and I'm like, yeah, I can't read the board unless I'm sitting in like the first 2 rows. And then finally in here I just have a notebook, big ol' M, and this is reused. I got this for free. I was in student unions, board of governors, and we got these notebooks. There's nothing in here because I'm not actually starting school, but basically I had a notebook in here that I would use like if they handed out sheets of paper. Most of my classes didn't really give out paper, but when they did, I would put it in this notebook. And I also had all my syllabuses in here, syllabi, whatever the plural is. Don't keep your syllabus like as single sheets of paper. What I would do, hot tip for college students, when you get handed your syllabus, which you want to do basically the first day when you get home, you take all of those dates, you write it all down. So what I would recommend doing is taking those sheets of paper, taking all of those due dates, especially for tests, essays, and quizzes, and put them into your calendar or whatever your agenda system is. Google Calendar is going to be your best friend. Not only is it paperless, meaning it's sustainable because you're not producing any products, it's just online. It reminds you of things, you can put in things, you can share calendars. I just think it's the best calendar system for basically tracking your schedule. I would have my class schedule on Google Calendar in one color, and then I would put my work schedule, basically I would schedule it around my class calendar, and I'd have that in a different color, and then I'd have another color for all my activities, and it just helped me stay on top of what was happening. Google Calendar is going to be your best friend in terms of scheduling things. And then my second tip is to have a secondary system that you're going to use for your to-do list. So when I was in college, I actually used Things 3 for the longest time ever. I used it for like most of my college career. It's a great way to keep your to-dos in order. But then literally like my last semester, I got into Notion and I love it so much. I wish I would have used it all throughout college. It's an amazing app that you can customize to fit your everyday needs. And I even have a calendar in there that I use for scheduling all of my YouTube videos, my Instagram posts, blog posts, all that kind of stuff. So Notion is an amazing tool. I definitely recommend downloading it and testing it out. It's really hard to use at first. There's so many things going on and it takes so long for you to perfect it to fit your specific needs. But I definitely recommend using Notion as a way to basically manage your life and to manage your to-dos and all that kind of stuff. And it's also a great place where you can store notes and you can take notes through Notion. I definitely recommend going digital when it comes to your agenda, when it comes to your note-taking, and when it comes to your calendar. So the final thing is I just put a couple things up here in the front pouch. This is basically what I would have in my backpack, and as you can see, it's just a pencil and a pen. I mean, I don't really like this pencil, so I wouldn't have this specific one, but this is what I found in my house. For me personally, when you have a bunch, it feels like you can easily lose something and be like, it's fine, I have like a million others. But when I had just one pencil, like when I dug into my backpack and I had a single pencil, for some reason it's just a lot easier to remember to put it back in my backpack. I literally just had like one pencil or one kind of pencil, and then I had like 2 or 3 of that pencil, and then I had a pen. And then also, like I said, I didn't really use notebooks that much unless it was a class where notebooks were required and you couldn't go digital. So I didn't really need that many pens and pencils anyways. Those are the 2 reasons that I didn't really have that many pens and pencils. And it worked out perfectly fine for me, and it ended up being more sustainable because you just have less things to buy. This is basically what's in my backpack. The one thing that I'm missing that I had basically all the time that I definitely recommend because it helps you be super sustainable is a lunch bag. It's so cute too. I don't know where it is. My sister uses it all the time. But I basically have this lunch bag, have these little containers, and I put food in it, and it fit my water bottle in there, so then I can take food to work and to classes. And this helps you be sustainable because you're not out here buying fast food every day. Whenever I'd forget my lunch, I would basically just starve because I didn't really like the food choices at my school. But I didn't like the food choices, I meant there wasn't a lot of vegan options, so I would basically just starve if I didn't bring my lunch. Also, it was super expensive, so I definitely recommend getting a lunchbox and getting some reusable containers, getting a reusable water bottle. It's just so much more sustainable and also saves a lot of money to just cook your food at home, take it to class, and go about it that way. That is my what's in my backpack for the 2020 school year, even though I'm not going back to school. I mean, technically I am going back to school, I'm just not going to be a student. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This video wasn't very scripted at all. It was kind of spontaneous. I literally, this morning, I woke up and I was like, what if I did a what's in my backpack? And then I did. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know how many people are even gonna watch this video because it's really random, and I think people are used to the what's in my backpack videos with like fresh, clean school supplies, and like I loved watching those videos too. But all they made me want to do is go buy all of these things, and then I never end up using them. So I hope this was more helpful in helping you realize that you don't need a lot for back to school season. I didn't have any highlighters in this video. I didn't have like 10 different colored notebooks and folders, even though those are the things that made me super excited about back to school season. If you want, you can take a picture of all the things you have in your backpack, take a picture, and then you can tag me in it. I would love to see what you guys have in your backpack. And my Instagram and all that kind of stuff will be linked down below, or I can just have it here as well. That was it for today's video, and if you guys enjoyed it at all, hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free, and yeah, it's free. I also have my website down below. My website is up and running. It's still in the development stage where it's definitely gonna change designs and colors as I'm just kind of figuring out what I like and how I want it to be designed. But it's up and live, and I will have a blog post up Sunday, so a couple days from when this video is going live. It's going to be 50 things about me or something like that. I've been talking for like 40 minutes. That's all I really have to say for today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. Oh, no, I can't. reach. Oh my god, idiot. And I forgot to talk about masks. But yeah, back to school season. Please wear masks. It protects you. It protects other people. It is going to make sure that less people die. So don't be an idiot. Wear a mask. Get your mask. Put it on. Go to school. In that order. Exactly that order. Nothing else.